I remember a few years ago, there was a funeral home in Montrose, Colorado that was giving people a combination of God, what was it? They were giving them something instead of ashes. They were supposed to be cremating the bodies. I don't know what they were doing with the body. No, they were supposed to be cremating the bodies, but they were harvesting their organs and chopping them into like pieces and like piecing these people out, and then returning people who requested cremations. They were returning them their instead of ashes. It was something else. I can't remember what it was. I want to say kitty litter, but that's a South Park reference. So I remember
hearing this might not be the same thing, but I remember hearing a similar story where they were just giving people random ashes instead of the ashes of their loved ones.
That might be it.
That might be it.
Might have just been.
It was just random ashes.
But yeah, but the purpose was because they were like they were like trying to sell the organs and stuff to medical facilities, and they got busted for it. And so Bradley and I learned about chop shops when we started like Googling about like is this a common thing, like people like selling organs, like what are the laws on organs? It turns out not as strict as you would think, you know.
You would think it would be extremely strict.
Yeah, but it's like
not the case.
It's only strict in some contexts, and even though it's strict, like people get around this shit, and there's like a seedy underworld going on, right? Well, this situation has yet to be proven to be something like that, but it's a horror story nonetheless.
Oh yeah.
So a funeral store here in Florence, Colorado. Either Florence or Penrose, Colorado. It's in Fremont County. It's in our county. They're a funeral home, and everybody around the neighborhood was complaining about the smell of dead bodies permeating from the building, and they had been calling the cops, complaining about it.
Basically, like the neighbors of Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, like kind of like that.
Yeah.
But in that context, it makes it kind of disturbing, you know.
But yeah, a classic. There's something fucked up going on here sign. You know?
Exactly.
If you smell dead bodies,
something's wrong.
Something is fucking.
You shouldn't be smelling dead bodies
because usually one body won't get found by being smelled.
Yeah,
I've never heard of a story where a body is like detected because someone was walking by and they smelled something weird and they went and investigated. No, when people smell something, they find a lot of fucking bodies. And
it depends if it's been there for a long time, but normally in a situation like that, it would have been found long before they got to that point.
But I've never heard of a story of a body being found because of the scent, but rather it being found because it's a body.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But when you hear stories of scent clues, it's because there's a bunch of bodies rotting somewhere, you know? Like, there's one story I heard of this person who's was storing their dead child or so. Trigger warning, by the way. Their dead child in the trunk of their car, and they didn't know what to do with them, so they were just sort of driving around with them, and it got to the point where someone complained about the smell in the trunk of the car, and they found that one body that one way. But you know, it's like you got to be fucking up. It
would have to be a pretty old body. I think that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
because there was one time where I found a dead deer in the ditch in the front of my mom's yard. It was just one deer, and it smelled horrible, but it was like rotted and shit. So it'd been there for a while. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. So I think it only takes a few days though. Like, I think after a couple weeks, it would already be done for, you know, like it wouldn't smell.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean by a while. It had been there long enough to start rotting. Yeah. But that's my point. If the body's there long enough to start rotting.
And that's exactly it. They started rotting at a funeral home.
And that's how you know something's very fucked up.
Yeah, and so they discovered the remains of 115 different people so far in the Penrose location. So this is a Colorado franchise type deal where they have multiple locations. And they've already discovered another one in Colorado Springs with the same problem. But this one has 115 people. And so the FBI and multiple agencies are investigating the alleged improper storage of more than 115 different human remains at Return to Nature Funeral Home after they were discovered in a search of the property in Penrose, Colorado. Investigators are encouraging families who worked with the funeral home to reach out to a hotline or stop by an office location for more information. The area of the funeral home where the bodies were improperly stored was horrific, said the sheriff Alain Couper. It's a French name. Couper said that there have not been any arrests and wouldn't speculate about arrests or possible charges at this time. Late Thursday night, Colorado Governor Polis issued a verbal disaster declaration for the Penrose incident, and today received confirmation that the disaster declaration is in place. So yeah, the governor declared it a fucking disaster. The owner said that he had been practicing animal taxidermy. Obviously, this dude should be in fucking prison right now. Like, this is like the most fucking disgusting thing in the world. The fact that he wasn't immediately arrested, it's only a testament to the sheer incompetence of our police department. They really fucking suck.
Yeah.
Again, he said he had been practicing animal taxidermy, and that's what he claimed was the smell or whatever. I don't know. He wrote a letter to the police claiming a whole bunch of shit, but I don't think it's very true considering the guy was taking people's money and throwing their relatives into a body pile.
Yeah.
I don't even, like...
Imagine if that was your fucking kid. You know what I mean? Like, or your brother, or your parents, or
anybody who's had someone die in the
just
area.
Just imagine. Lately. Yeah, like...
This is it's fucking insane. And like, there's no image in my head for what they found, you know? You can talk for a second while I put something in.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just think of like to me, that's on some like Jeffrey Dahmer type shit, you know what I mean? Like for the neighbors to be smelling bodies, you know? And then this guy says it's because he's doing taxidermy. It's like...
Return to Nature Funeral Home is owned by... I mean, they say it in the article. This isn't us saying it. But, I mean, yeah. The bastard John Halford and his wife, Carrie Halford, they've been unable to contact the guy, blah, blah, blah. A guy who runs He Loves Me Florist in Colorado Springs works closely with them and says that she's close friends with the people and that they were visiting family last weekend in Oklahoma and she had not heard from them since. He was working really hard. They were amazing. They do great work and I believe in what they believe in. Non-chemical embalming. They don't put stuff in our drinking water. What is going on here?
Whoa. What? I'm so confused right now.
What indeed? I didn't even know about this one. They must have been updating this article since last time I saw it. Regarding the funeral home's green burial practices. Now, I fucking know this is not green burial. These motherfuckers are committing crimes. This is like... This is dark. Obscene, right?
This is fucking dark, dude.
They called it horrific. Nothing like...
That's an accurate description.
And that's the end of the article. I'm not going to read the other articles, but
I think we get the idea.
I think I'm going to make a video about it, like how I did wacky news, but do like an episode where it's just like, this is wacky news, and make the whole thing about the funeral home story. Like, do all 3 articles and talk about them, you know?
Right. Man.
This shit's fucking crazy,
It's
though.
crazy,
huh?
yeah. That's insane. I just, because everybody has this idea that, like, when you die, your body is well taken care of. You know what I mean? It's, everything, there's a bunch of oversight. Everything is very, like, by the books. And, like, when you hear something like this, it really paints a different picture.
Yeah. I wonder if they advertise their business as non-chemical embalming, you know?
Maybe.
I wonder if there's laws about non-chemical embalming. And I wonder, like, if that's their fringes covering up for them, but also they said where they went. Sounds like they ran to Oklahoma. It sounds like they told their friend, we're fucking out of here. We're finding family in Oklahoma. We are not coming back. We didn't leave anybody to watch the funeral homes, and they are filled with dead people. You know, because, like, they could have left employees to do something. There was nobody at any of these fucking locations. Like, when the police found it, it was like an abandoned building.
Which is dead people everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking scene out of Resident Evil or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
What
like,
the fuck?
It's like, that doesn't seem real. That's how horrific it is. You know what I mean? Like, can you imagine? Can you actually imagine walking into an abandoned building with that many dead bodies in it?
It's very much gonna become a national story. Like,
it should, like, because people need
if it doesn't,
know
I'll be
about,
surprised. Like, because the dude is already if he's crossing state lines, like trying to avoid like getting prosecuted for something like this, and like just like putting time in between him and the law by just like by counting on the decomposition factor of dead people that he's wronged. I mean, this is like, I mean, it's catnip for true crimers. I'm surprised that like I haven't heard more people talking about it. I think we're the first podcast that's ever talked about this.
You need to hurry up with the fucking editing, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Before everybody else jumps on this.
Yeah.
Because we're like the first ones, but we're not going to look like it by the time this comes out.
Well, for reference, this episode was recorded on October 9th, 2023.
Yeah. And we have the fucking screen recording to prove it right here, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is one of those stories that I'm sure in a few days, give it a week maybe, all the true crime channels are going to be talking about this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's crazy because it's right in our backyard.
Yeah. We've had shit like that happen around here sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? But never anything that wild, I don't think. Holy fuck. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. It's kind of not even as crazy as it sounded like when I mentioned it in the car, huh? It's like fucking wild.
It's really fucking wild. Like, the more you think about it, like, really comprehend like the extent of that, you know what I mean? Jeez. And like I feel really bad for the people like
who had a loved one die recently.
Yeah.
Like probably anybody that's had a loved one die in this county should probably be looking at the paper trail at this point, you know.
Yeah, you should. Yeah.
And they should probably be going to those funeral homes to identify their loved ones. Because if those people are just throwing bodies around, they're probably not doing the proper paperwork either.
Yeah.
I doubt they have people properly tagged and shit.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And like you said, the fact that there haven't been any arrests.
Yeah.
How?
That the police department has said that they're not pursuing any arrests right now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Do you think if...
Because it's a business owner committing a crime, you know?
Do you think if they found 115 bodies anywhere else... There'd be no arrest.
Yeah. Oh.
Pick anywhere, place.
It would be
anywhere.
It would be on fucking Most Wanted. It would be on fucking America's Most Wanted. Is that still around? Is that still on TV?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
It would be like that show that may or may not still exist.
Yeah. I mean, TV is so like dated at this
Passe.
point. Everybody just has streaming,
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but yeah, that's fucking horrific.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, like, do I know anyone who's died recently, or know somebody who knows someone who's died recently? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. You may be entitled to compensation. Like,
yeah, that's an understatement. Holy fuck, you're entitled to some like spiritual compensation of some kind. Holy shit. Jeez.
this man is not crossing the Tigris until he ponies up. And it's, I mean, like I was saying at the beginning of the segment, it's probably alarmingly common if we were to go through and just look up funeral home disaster stories.
Mm-hmm.
Probably alarmingly common.
Well, because think about every other business in existence. There are restaurant horror stories. There are hotel horror stories. There are shows about this, There are literally TV shows about this shit. This happens in every business. So if you think about it, why would funeral homes be any different? Really? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just that we have this delusion that, like, oh, well, since it's dead bodies, they're going to be well taken care of.
Yeah.
That's a delusion because, like, the people in charge, you don't know them. You don't know who
it's
they are.
It's like a defense mechanism.
Yeah, it is a
probably,
defense mechanism because we as a society want to believe that.
Yeah.
I want to believe that.
It's like believing that the cooks at your restaurant wash their hands.
Exactly. Or that they're cleaning the dishes properly and stuff like that.
Which is not happening.
It's
I'm the
not
only
happening.
dishwasher that's ever cleaned a dish properly.